unacceptable. Coming to you, Bonbagi, on this, we have seen the developments in Nairobi County, and now it's happening in Kitui County of Governor Charity Ngilu. But first, before we shift gears to Kitui County, we have seen the developments in Nairobi County, and then there is some sense of a sweetener to entice them. Now they have been accorded a 4-day retreat to Mombasa County, and it's clearly a case of calmness in Nairobi County. How well does this mesh up with what's happening in Kitui County at the moment, and also tracking it back to 2014-2013, when Makueni members of County Assembly said that the governor was blocking them from getting allowances, also traveling abroad? But how well does the entire affair of the members of county assemblies across the country mesh up with the dynamic or the responsibility, the mandate they have been accorded to serve the people at the county level?
You know, that's a very important office, member of county assembly. You are down right at the heart of devolution. Then you're misbehaving. Look at the Nairobi members of the county assembly of Nairobi. There's a problem in that county assembly, and this should end. And Nairobians should be very keen about who they vote for into those assemblies. They are misbehaving. In my opinion, they are misbehaving, and they do not deserve any kind of retreat. Retreat for what? It is shameful, and it's something that, I don't know, it should be looked into keenly. Okay. If it can be stopped, such expenditures can be stopped through the courts. Okay. Because that's total nonsense. Okay. Now, go back to, I've also seen MCAs protesting in Bungoma about certain funds here and there. But I know the core problem is that government treasury has had problems in releasing funds to the devolved government. So what, even for the Kitui one, what I'd recommend is, number one, consultative meetings between the county assemblies and the governors. Let them solve issues. Let them have the bigger picture. The most important thing is serving the members, serving their counties, not fighting. And they should draw a lesson from Makueni. Yeah? Makueni, the last time we saw rogue MCAs, and the county government was almost dissolved. And that's how they now came to realize that we can't just operate with impunity. And in the end, they were all taken out during the elections. It's only one who remained in this term. So members of county assembly, please conduct yourself in decorum. Okay. And don't resort to ways that demean your office. And also remember that the core calling, what you need to do is serve your county and play your legislative role inside the assembly, using the procedures and the law. Okay. Not resorting to blackmailing and seeking for retreats and forcefully removing people from office. But again, there's a general concern of perhaps what appears to be a general feeling of the public out there. But Karl Marx, of course, we are past that. Coming to this of the members of county assemblies, is their conduct perhaps a soothing one, in the sense that it seeks to salvage the most important aspect of the people at the county level? Because the entire idea of devolution is that, to just in a nutshell paint a picture, is perhaps to lessen down power from Nairobi up to the grassroots level, to lessen the proximity of these members of county assemblies being near the people, so that they can hear from them, come up with policies, legislate at the county level, do the oversight at the county level. But that appears to be far from achievement in the larger percentage of counties making up the country. Considering what happened in Nairobi, what's happening in Kitui County of Governor Ngilu, is it a case of not making or maximizing or making sense of the opportunity we have under the devolved system of governance to usher in better governance model that will help Kenyans attain better living standards?
One thing with our members of county assemblies, they have for many, can I just say, for so long been known for fist fightings. We call them rancorous debates. These are the people that will always call for unnecessary trips in the name, the so-called benchmarking. They call them bonding, blackmails, frustrations, backtabs, So if we have members of county assembly that does not understand that their roles, their roles are not actually all what I'm mentioning. Because those are the only bad image that people actually identify them with. Okay. But look at these people. These are the people who are supposed to be actually interacting with the common man down there. They have so many power that is wielded around the offices. That to mean that they are the people actually to come up with the budget. They implement the budget. That means it's a direct development to the common man. But do you see that happen? That is not happening. So therefore, we cannot have members of county assembly who does not understand that it is not a matter of moving from one place to the other in the name of benchmarking. What are you going to benchmark about? What are you bonding over? Because not unless your county actually is doing more or less good or maybe well, so that other counties can emulate. Why don't we have counties who are doing exemplary well, so that other counties can feel that we can actually go there for this? But you cannot just be talking of benchmarking or maybe bonding over nothing. So we have lazy people in these county assemblies. We have people who are thinking that throwing chairs or maybe some insults around make them to be members of county assembly. We need to show leadership. And this leadership cannot just come from space. You must demonstrate it. In terms of how they plan, in terms of how they interrogate, in terms of how they network, in terms of how they link, with other agencies, so that they can grow their account, their wards. But you cannot sit down there, you wait for salaries. The only thing you think is about you go and move from one place to the other. These trips, what are they meant for? If they cannot reflect the common man down there. We thought devolution, actually for these people to make devolution to flourish, they were the people who we were looking forward to see that there is something happening within the county government. Okay,
let's make sense of it also in this way, Karl Marx, to be fair to the MCAs too, because at some point they also seem to be raising genuine issues, but they become an avenue for money minting operation by the governors. When they have something substantial for the people, I mean, they raise the matter at the county level or the county assembly. Then there's the governor who feels threatened or perhaps wants to channel that money or deflect it elsewhere or perhaps stash it in his private account. Clearly, then he has to use them perhaps to manipulate them or sway their opinions, which were right. Then we have a whole picture of the governance system at the county level entirely spoiled. So how well does this corporation need to come up in the sense that it prioritizes or puts number one the agendas of the people, who in this case are the beneficiaries at the county level, because the entire idea was one, to decongest Nairobi and ensure, if say you're from county X, then you have the opportunity to go and invest your energy, talent, everything encompassing you in your county. That is the entire idea of devolution, although Kenya is multi-ethnic community because of transparency constitution that you can work anywhere in the country.
You know, if you call, let me say the executive calls for these forums, or maybe the so-called bondings, okay? They are the people to fund them. And therefore, I don't see, if they plan and also they fund them, I don't see how, there is monopoly of now the county assembly members now to dictate on how they are going to run the affairs of the county assembly. No. It's about, by the way, whoever called the shot is the people who actually planned for it, called for it, and also fund it. So therefore, if we give avenue, whatever you're talking about, if we give avenue to these members of the county assembly, they will actually blackmail the governors each and every time they want to move from their counties. Because just preparing a budget, or maybe you want to discuss anything that concerns your county, why must you go to another county? That is wanton wastage of resources. Sit there, you have hotels there, you have any other place you can do those meetings, do them there. But moving from one place to the other in the name of we are going to benchmark, then the same way you could see how the members of parliament went all the way to Russia. And just to come back and copy paste a report. You know, these are the nonsense we don't want to talk about.
Interestingly, they were not there. The Kimoya Sports Center Kasarani when Harambee Stars play Ghana for the crucial African
So those are the ironies we're talking about.
I mean, there's clear double standardness here. Bonbegi, pick it up from there. Here we also have the governors who use the MCAs as an avenue to loot money from the coffers of the county level. Clearly, it speaks to the entire issue of empowering the people at the county level, but that isn't happening in the country. Look at the Auditor General's report. He clearly establishes a case of perhaps the poverty level down at the county level when billions are spent on unnecessary projects in the county. I mean, there is a case in which you invest in infrastructure, yet the people do not need infrastructure for that matter because there are more priority items than them, and because regionally we belong to different places in the country. However, how does the entire issue come to forth in the sense that we don't have the chalk and cheese argument that we're witnessing in the country in the case of Nairobi, in Gilo, and also in the first period in Kiambu County, and all that's happening across the counties, because a showcase also is Busia County, where 8 MCAs have been summoned by the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission.
Yeah, and talking even projects, I'd like counties and even citizens to be to borrow from Makueni, people's project, people manage projects, whereby for every project there's a people's committee responsible for that project, and they look at it and they give genuine opinion on whether everything is being done well and what have you. But on the issue of checks and balances, in the counties we have an executive and we have the legislative assembly, which is the county assembly. that is supposed to check the executive, but they seem not to understand that role. They think they're supposed to fight the executive, and the executive on the other side think that if they are fought, they are supposed to entice the county assembly. But my idea is that we should empower civil society in the counties. Here in Nairobi, you have so many civil societies that act nationally.
Okay.
Now we need more and more Okio Mutatas in the counties. You see, people who are just independent private citizens, but they are so concerned about governance that they take action. They are proactive. Yeah, so that we can empower civil society in counties who can always be on the check, so that we have three angles of checks and balances. We have the executive there, we have the legislative assembly, and we have active citizens. Citizens who care, citizens who know who is their ward. They are called ward manager or ward
administrators.
Administrators. You know, these people are there. And I saw for a case where I live in Nairobi, we had a problem with garbage, and you know, I had to look for that ward administrator and tell him that you know, there's a problem here, and they did something. So Kenyans, don't forget that we have people who are supposed to serve us. How many Kenyans know the offices of their ward administrator, where they can walk in and put a complaint? So let's be active citizens. Let's attend even the sittings of the assemblies. Let us project what we feel is wrong. And for me, as I come from, my origin is Kisii County, but I think I now have to take a very active role in Nairobi County. The way things are going, I have to take an active role in Nairobi County.
Of course, it's an unfortunate scenario.